Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Sinag and welcome to another episode of Free Book Haul. Already watched my very first video in this channel, which is also a book haul, which is the first episode for this free book haul. It's kind of a mess, so please bear with me because I was still starting that time. So I hope in this one I can articulate my thoughts well, and I can share to you why I chose to get this book on Kindle or from the author's newsletters. Or so again, this video, I'm still quite experimenting on how I'm going to present this to you because I don't want to just be here and tell you what books I've hauled. So I also wanted to let you know why did I hold it, and whether I'm excited. Of course I'm excited for these books. That's why I bought them or get them. But I wanted to share with you as well the level of excitement that I have while creating this list, so that you'll be able to hopefully watch out for these books on the following videos or vlogs to come from this channel. So that's what I'm hoping for. So for this starting for this video, this book haul specifically, I'm going to rate my level of excitement for each book. So I have brainstormed 3 levels. So the first one, the highest or the most priority for me to read, is called salivating. So that means that the books that I rated this level, it means that I really am very excited to read them, and they now belong to the list of my top most priority to read in my TBR. So usually the books that I'm going to put in this level are those that are published by the authors that I have known, probably my favorite authors, or my auto by authors. So that's where I'm going to put the salivating. So the second level is the get in line. So it means that I'm excited to read this book, but not as excited as the salivating one. So it's kind of the middle priority. So usually this book, I usually in this level, I'm going to put all of the books that have interesting or intriguing premise to me, but I have not yet read books from the authors, or I have read a book from that author, but the premise of the book does not necessarily intrigues me a lot. And the third and last level in this rating scale is the take your time. So it's pretty self-explanatory. So the books that I'm going to place in this level are those that I can take my time with, that I am not obligated to read immediately. So it's not high in my TBR, so it's actually very low in terms of priority. Placing the books in this level does not mean that they are the ones that probably will not be read by me, or probably will stay on my TBR for a longer time, because I'm kind of thinking that the books that I will put in this as well can be read anytime. Like there's no pressure reading this book, so I can read these for longer periods or of time, or as a palate cleanser between books. The books that I'm thinking that maybe I'll put in this level are those books that the premise does not really intrigue me or interest me, and I haven't read the author yet, but I'm interested in reading their books or knowing their writing style. Or if um the premise of this book is does not really showed more, like there's nothing special about it, but I'm still interested in reading it. Or I have read a lot of people that I followed recommending them. Okay, so let's now go to the haul. So these are the books that I have bought during the Christmas days of December 25. So a quick side note first, I'm recommending for you, if you wanted to get free books as well, I'm recommending for you to visit the Kindle store once in a while, especially during days where events are happening, or there's a celebration like Christmas, because usually there's a lot of sales during that time, and most of the authors, at least those that I'm following or looking forward to reading their books from, are lowering the price range of their books to $0 or peso. So it becomes free during that days. Another tip that I can give you is to follow your favorite authors or your auto-buy authors on all of their social media platforms. Maybe subscribing to their newsletter as well, and joining their Facebook group community, because usually that's the place where they first announce or post their sales or discounts or free books. Okay, so for the first book that I have hauled, a Single-versary by Lauren Blakely. So I actually pre-ordered this for free on Kindle. So yes, you can also pre-order books on Kindle for free, as long as it is indicated in there that you can pre-order the book for free. So I actually have heard Lauren Blakely's name before from the different people that I follow, and I actually wanted to try their books for a very long time. But the books that I have encountered or I have read reviews from the people that I followed does not interest me at all. Like, the premise did not intrigue me or interest me in some ways. This is a vacation romance wherein the heroine, she goes on a vacation trip for her single-versary. So she's basically celebrating a whole year of her singleness. So, and then in that vacation, she met a charming and hot adventure tour guide, because that happens in real life. Yeah. So anyway, based from what you have heard from what I tell you, this book has a very generic and cliche things you see in romance books. That's why this book gets a take your time level of excitement for me, because it doesn't hook me, because it did not show any special thing about it. Like, the premise is really bland, but I still pre-ordered it because I'm a sucker for romance, so especially lighthearted romance, and I wanted to read Lauren Blakely's books. And compared to her other books that I have encountered, this one was at least the somehow appealing to me. So I hope that I'll be able to like this book, even though the premise seems so generic. But let's not judge the book by their descriptions. I hope so. Okay, so for the next one that I have hauled is Viper by Naomi Lucas. So actually, I was already aware of this book way beforehand, because our hero is a snake. Yeah. So yes. So basically, this is a first book in the Bride Hunting Aliens. So this is a dystopian romance with our hero as a snake. So I really don't know the level of his snakeness, but but as far as I know, he's a snake in some way, shape, or form. So I'm kind of intrigued as to how the thing is going to happen, because I don't know much about snakes anatomy, but we'll see. We'll see how everything will happen between them. Anyway, this book will get a get in line level of excitement for me, because despite of me not liking dystopian, especially dystopian romance, the reason why this book is a get in line or middle priority level of excitement for me is because it is recommended by my queen Ruby Dixon on her FB page. And I really trusted Ruby Dixon with her recommendations, especially her sci-fi alien romance recommendations, because obviously she's the queen in writing sci-fi romance. So, and I also wanted to find all-time favorite books from her recommendations, because she's my all-time favorite authors. So another book is Rapture and Ruin by Julia Sykes. So this one, it's about a mafia romance with a typical mafia plot of the hero kidnapping the heroine as a revenge, because their family are both opposing each other, or there are opposing mafia families. So based from what I have told you, that premise is basically the same as most of the mafia romance descriptions in Kindle. So that's why this book is in the take your time level of excitement for me, because it's very generic. It's like the same plot, or at least from what the premise showed us, as to other mafia romances. So I still wanted to read this, because I'm actually in my phase wherein I am trying different mafia books to know whether I really like that subgenre of romance, specifically dark romance. I wanted to know whether if it's the mafia thing or the mafia element in books, or if it depends on the writing style of the person, because my favorite, as of right now, my favorite mafia romance is The Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. And it was the first mafia book that I have ever read. So I wanted to know if the reason why I like that is because of the mafia element, or if it is because of Sophie Lark's writing style and characterizations. Right now, I'm currently trying to read mafia romances, so to know my final thoughts about that. That's why I one click this book when I see that it's free on Kindle during that time. So if you're wondering where are the Santa books in this Christmas Day haul, here it is. So the next book that I have hauled is Her Night with Santa by Adriana Herrera. So this one is a sapphic steamy short involving a female Santa. So that's definitely a plus, because from what we all know, Santa usually was portrayed as a man, specifically an older man, like a lolo, a grandfather, like that. So it's really at first it's really intriguing. It's really interesting to know that there's a female Santa, and that in this, based from the premise. A quick side note pala, in these videos, I'm not going to entirely read the premise to you, because I know that you can do that by reading Google or the Amazon description. So in this one, I'm just stating a short pitch, kumbaga, based from what I have read and understand based on the descriptions. For this one, Her Night with Santa, I am actually giving this a get in line level of excitement, because female Santa, it's already an interesting premise. However, the reason why it's not a salivating read for me is because I have not read anything from Adriana Herrera before. So I don't know whether I'm going to jive with her writing style, or if it is only the premise that intrigues me. So of course, I don't want to set my hopes up because I don't want to get hurt if I found out that her writing style does not mesh well with my reading taste. So that's why it's in the get in line level of excitement. But nonetheless, I'm still excited in reading this book. And for the last book that I have hauled during Christmas Day is The Hunting Season by Kate Rudolph. So this one is about a werewolf bodyguard romance. And that's it. That's too disappointing to be my last book hauled in the Christmas Day. But yes, so it's a werewolf bodyguard romance based from the synopsis, and yeah. And because of that, it actually got a take your time level of excitement for me, because to be honest, the premise does not really showed a lot. But the thing is, I'm I'm in this weird place in my life where I'm questioning my likes and dislikes in books. So one of my and I'm actually kind of experimenting right now, because I'm the reason why I'm doing these vlogs as well is, I mean, not these vlogs, but the other videos in my channels, the vlogs. The reason why I'm doing that is because I wanted to experiment and to talk about the books that I have read, and to articulate my thoughts into words, and to have conclusions on what are the elements that I like to read in books, and those that I don't, so that the next time I am going to be well guided in buying books. So the reason why I gave this book Take Your Time, because the premise basically feels like the same as the usual premises for shifter romance or werewolf romance, and it added a little bit of the bodyguard aspect, but nonetheless it's still the same. And yes, but I still wanted to read this because I haven't yet read a favorite werewolf book for me, and a favorite bodyguard romance book for me. So I'm still on the lookout for that. And and as long as the premise sounds good and lighthearted, I still wanted to read those. So to summarize this video, 4 out of the 6 books that I hauled during Christmas Day have gotten a take your time level of excitement, while the other 2 have gotten a get in line level of excitement for me. So I didn't get a salivating read. Well, I kind of expected to get less of salivating read, because most of the authors that, I mean, not all, but most of the authors that I'm looking forward to read their books are already established in their own career. That's why maybe some of them, like for example Ruby Dixon, already have a massive following that they don't need to, for example, lower the price of Ice Planet Barbarians to $0 or pesos. So that's the summary for this book haul. So I'm really hoping to read all of these books, since most of these are novella or novella length. So I wanted to, so hopefully I'll be able to read them, because despite most of them taking the low priority level of excitement for me, I still wanted to read them, because that's the point why I even clicked to buy them in the first place. So yeah, so I've actually noticed that most of these, actually all of them, are new to me authors. So these are the first books that I am going to read from them. So I'm really hoping that I'll be able to like this book, so that whenever I see their names again and their new releases, I'll be able to gauge whether I want to pre-order those, or to buy those, or to borrow them through Kindle Unlimited. So I hope that in this book hauls, I'll be able to taste test some authors and to hopefully found new all-time favorite authors for me, because that's really fun as a reader to find new authors to love, because it's a really nice feeling knowing that you have a lot of books or authors to look forward from each year. So yeah, so that's all for this video. I hope that somehow I have encouraged you as well to join me in reading this. If any of the books sounds interesting to you, even though I probably not articulate my thoughts or the premise of this book as well, I hope that if something interests you based on what I have said, or the tropes that I have mentioned in each books, I hope that you'll give them a chance to read the actual premise of these books, whether through their Goodreads description or their Amazon description. And I hope that even if I know that I'm not going to like all of the books that I've read or I've hauled, I hope that I'll be able to find some all-time favorites in this videos, and I hope that you also have some all-time favorites of yours as well. So if you have read any of these videos and you had a generally good reading experience with any of these, or if one of these are your all-time favorite videos, please comment it down below so that I'll know what books I'm going to prioritize first, because to be honest, the rating that I have made is very flexible, so I can move a book to any of those categories depending on my mood and depending on what other people have mentioned to me, or what the people that I'm following says. So it highly depends basically on how other people influence me and how I feel at the moment. So at the moment, from what you have watched, that's what I am feeling with regard to this book. So if you want me to prioritize some or all of the books, or if you want me to prioritize any of the books below and to put it higher up in my priority list, so please just comment it down below. And if not, if you have a general bad experience or anything, so please let us be respectful and don't bash on the author or hate on anyone. But yeah, if you have any negative reactions from these books that I have mentioned, please politely and calmly state it down below. And yes, don't bash the author. We're talking about books here and there, and only the books only. So I hope that we're able to have good communication and interaction from this on forward, and I'm hoping to seeing you soon on my other videos and on my future videos to come. So with that, if you like this video, just click the like button down below. And if you wanted to see more from me and to hopefully see me grow as a booktuber in this channel, please also click the subscribe button down below and the notifications. Yeah, so yes, thank you so much for your time, and I hope to seeing you soon on the following videos to come. Bye-bye!